Racing fans, rejoice! Following the successful and stunning race of this year's event on the frozen Baltic Sea, just 60 miles from the Arctic Circle, the Race of Champions is set to return to the snow and ice of Sweden's Piteå in January 2023. So sit back and relax as we talk about the race and the drivers participating in the snowy racing event in January. Let's start off with the Race of Champions returning to snow and ice. The Race of Champions was held on snow and ice for the first time this year at Piteå, Sweden, and next year it'll be back for a second round on a purpose-built parallel track with the famous crossover bridge. It's safe to say that the event has a long history of bringing in superstars and all-time greats from all over the world of motorsport. And the fact that the first drivers have already signed up for Rock Sweden shows that the 2023 race will be no different. And with that, some of the best drivers of all time are set to go in Sweden in January to race head-to-head in identical cars on Rock's famous parallel track, where the winner is decided solely by the driver's skill. Coming up, racers in the roster. Even current racers from the Formula One Championship are set to race in January, as Sebastian Vettel has just recently joined the roster. Vettel, a four-time Formula One world champion, alongside two-time F1 world champion Mika Hakkinen, are among the drivers named for the 2023 Race of Champions, which will return to the north of Sweden in January. Last winter, Rock went to the seaside resort of Piteå for the first time, but unfortunately, World Rally Championship legend Sebastian Loeb beat Vettel to win the individual trophy of Champion of Champions. Could we see Vettel clinch the title in January? We hope so. Followed by Aston Martin frontman comments on his selection. Vettel, who has won the Rock Nations Cup 6 times, will now return to the event near the Arctic Circle as one of the first 6 drivers announced on Wednesday. It'll be the German's first race after he retires from Formula One in December. And when asked about how he feels about racing with the champions, he said, "I can't think of a better place for my first race after I leave Formula One than the Race of Champions." He expressed that this would be his 11th time here, and he keeps coming back because it's a special event. Vettel also talked about this year's Race of Champions when he declared that he doesn't really have much experience racing on snow and ice, so it was a steep learning curve for him in Sweden earlier this year. It was a delightful surprise for the German racer to get to the individual final against Sebastian Loeb, and he can't wait to go back and try Rock-style ice racing again. He also hopes he can help Team Germany win another Rock Nations Cup title. High hopes, Mr. Vettel. Up next, a McLaren legend joins Vettel on the roster. Vettel will again race against Hakkinen, a big fan favorite at this year's event. Earlier this year, F1 legend Mika Hakkinen also participated in the Race of Champions for the first time. And yes, you guessed it, McLaren's 1998 and 1999 world champion has expressed that he's really glad to be coming back. Hakkinen gladly expressed his feelings for the Rock when he said that the event has a great vibe. "It's great to meet up with so many great drivers, and everyone in charge of putting it together does a great job." He also added that he had done the Arctic Rally a few times. Well, it seems like he has at least driven on ice once before. Here's to hoping that the practice will come in handy this time. And as for this year's Nations Cup winners, Petter and Oliver Solberg will defend their title after Team Norway's father and son duo defeated Team USA's Jimmy Johnson and Colton in the 2022 final. Lastly, other racers on the 2023 roster. Four-time World Rally champion Johan Kristoffersson is set to return on home soil after losing to fellow Swede Mattias Ekström in the quarterfinals quarterfinals last year. Alongside Johan is Petter Solberg, who has won the FIA World Rally Championship and the World Rallycross Championship twice. Petter recalled great memories from his career when asked about January's ROC. He added that the World Championships were all great, but if he had to pick his best moment, it would be winning the Race of Champions Nations Cup with Oliver this year. Petter is accompanied by his son, Oliver Solberg, who expressed that he's really excited to come back and defend their ROC Nations Cup title with his dad again. What a wholesome father-son duo. And last but not least, Jamie Chadwick, who is close to winning her third consecutive W Series title, will also make her second ROC appearance in Picha-Havsbad. The double W Series champion said that it's amazing to be able to drive on snow and ice, and doing it at the Race of Champions makes it even better. She recalled this year's ROC and stated that she couldn't believe she was there with so many greats in motorsport, and she's definitely excited to be back, as it's so much fun. Chadwick also added that she surprised herself by winning a couple of races, though she soon learned that it doesn't take much to end up in a snowbank. Well, speak for yourself, Jamie, because it looks like a whole lot of training to win races. But don't you worry, the roster isn't complete yet, as more drivers will be added to the list in the coming weeks and months. In other related news, first, Vettel accuses F1 of giving in to the Italian president. Sebastian Vettel says that Formula One gave in to the demands of Italy's president and let an airplane fly by before their race, even though they had said they wouldn't do that anymore. The German racer said that F1 had told drivers before that it would stop letting planes do demonstrations before races. As flights make a lot of carbon dioxide, in recent months, unnecessary short-distance trips, especially those taken by celebrities on private jets, have come under fire. Vettel revealed that Sunday's flyby was done at the request of Sergio Mattarella, the president of Italy, who was at the race. He took a dig at F1 when he stated the federation's goal to reduce its carbon emissions by 2030, and said that allowing flybys goes against this goal. Vettel, who's leaving F1 at the end of the year, didn't finish his last Italian Grand Prix because his car's battery died. But on this circuit 14 years ago, he won his first Formula One race while driving for Toro Rosso, which is now AlphaTauri. Moving on, De Vries confirms talks with Red Bull advisor. After making his F1 debut at Monza, the Dutchman has the chance to join Alpine, Williams, or the Red Bull team. But he says that he's not in a position to choose where he goes. Pierre Gasly will be given back to Alpine if Nick chooses AlphaTauri. But if Gasly stays where he is, De Vries is a top choice for Alpine to replace Fernando Alonso. As for the Dutchman, not Verstappen, he's still in the running at Williams, where Logan Sargent is also making progress. He revealed that he shouldn't be able to choose where he goes, and also said that he doesn't have a preference and would be happy with any of the options that are currently available. He also revealed that his great first race at the Italian GP is in the past, and that he's looking forward to next year. We wish the best to the young driver. Lastly, nothing's off the table for 2023's design, according to Russell. At the start of this season, Mercedes W13 caught people's attention with its slim sideboards and radical design. But George Russell says that the team is looking at a lot of different options for their 2023 car. Russell has scored 203 points this season, which is just 23 less than Valtteri Bottas scored in his last season for Mercedes. And luckily enough, he stayed in the top 5 at the Italian Grand Prix last weekend by finishing on the podium. Russell said, "I don't think anything is out of the question." When asked if Mercedes will change their radical design line for 2023. That's a bold statement coming from him. Fans already knew that Mercedes didn't expect to do well on high-speed, low downforce tracks like Spa-Francorchamps and Monza. Russell revealed that the team knew why, but he said that there's no overnight fix. He added that they must keep working on this car. He thinks next year will be a step forward. The British racer also expressed that the team has a very clear idea of how to develop the car. Well, we hope that Team Mercedes finds their footing ASAP. We can't have these one-sided races for too long. The reigning Constructors' champions are only 35 points behind Ferrari's standings, and both teams are looking to step it up at the Singapore Grand Prix on September 30th. That's all for this video. What are your thoughts on Sebastian Vettel joining the roster for the Race of Champions in Sweden next year? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content in the future. Thanks for watching. See you next time.